simple theme for this morning. It's simply about the spine, that we should have a very strong and flexible spine. So we'll pay attention to the spine and to its different sections as we go through the session. Would you like to come standing with your feet together? And we just stand in an upright posture and just become aware of your spine to start with as being your central axis. Think of it as being a vertical line. Runs from the head down to the base of the spine. Let's just roll down and hang forwards. Free-flowing breath. Head and neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And then as you swing up into the standing half moon, start to become aware of the spine from the base, right from the tailbone, the sacrum. Be aware of that solar plexus region around the rib cage where you're lifting. Be aware of that upper region of the spine that runs through the shoulder blades. And then allow that dynamic to continue on up so the arms can draw you upwards further. Take the hands down again. Let's do the same thing. In this position, we find that release, free breath. We can allow the spine just to relax down like a long, relaxed column. We can even allow the weight of the head maybe to draw the spine into a greater length, increasing the spaces between the vertebrae. Coming back up once again, and now building up that dynamic flowing energy which helps us to stretch from the base. The rib cage is an important region to lift up, to draw that spine further into a growth, then between the shoulder blades, and the arms can draw us up further as well. Relax again. Let's do the same thing one last time. As you hang forwards, make sure the breath flows freely. Make sure the feet and the legs give you a good stable support. And let the weight of the head help your spine just to hang through complete relaxation. And then we come into the opposite. We swing up and we build up a dynamic, elastic stretch from the base, taking your awareness sequentially upwards, particularly with a good focus on the solar plexus, to lift the breastbone a bit more, and also be particularly aware of the region between the shoulder blades. And that dynamic that continues actively up through the hands. And then take the hands down. Let's come into the sun prayer. Hands together. So growing up. Lifting particularly from the solar plexus. Streaming up through the upper spine. Take the hands down and look in. Take the right foot back, growing into both your legs. That forms your base. Out of that base, you can start to lengthen up through the rib cage area, upper spine right up through the arms. Come into the plank. Knees, chest and face down. Slide forwards, open into the cobra. Come into downward dog. Right foot forward. Form that base again. A good solid base so that you then have a support and you can actively stretch up. Take the other foot forward. And swing right the way back up into the standing half moon. Firm feet, lifting the ribcage a bit more and streaming upwards. Take the hands down. Hands together. Take the arms up. Breathing. Lifting the ribcage, growing up more. Take the hands down and look in. Left foot back. Forming a good leg base. Lifting up the ribcage. Streaming up through the shoulder region. Plank. Take the knees down. Chest and face down. Slide along the ground. Open into the cobra. Push into downward dog. And take the left foot forward. Good base. Take the arms up, lifting the ribcage, streaming right up. Take the right foot forward and look in. Come right the way up. Keep breathing. Let's build up that stretch through the length of the spine again. Through the upper spine, through the shoulder region. And take the hands down. Let's come to the standing head to knee position. Just take your feet and your legs together. So we're going to take the hands out a little bit ahead of us, keeping good stable base, particular activity down in the lower spine, the sacrum. Take the arms up. Keep the upper body light, feet firm. Direct your hips backwards and let the upper body lightly come out to the front so there's no tension in the face and the neck. Breath is free, fingertips lightly on the ground. Direct your bottom quite actively backwards. That's where the power is. It's in the sacrum to push backwards. Keep breathing. Relax down again, hanging and looking in. Coming back up once again to the standing half moon. Free breath. Lifting the rib cage, streaming up a little bit more through the upper spine, and take the hands down. We'll do this position again, and this time we'll pay a little bit more attention to the spine, to taking our awareness once again through the different sections of the spine so that we can grow a bit more intensively. Feet and legs form the good stable anchor once again, so the legs are very firm. The sacrum is the part which is directed backwards to start with. Take the arms up lightly, move backwards with your hips and your sacrum, your pelvis, and then fingertips just lightly either touching the ground, or if they're not on the ground it doesn't matter. But now let's work our way more systematically. From the base of the spine you actually move backwards, the tailbone, the sacrum, have that sense of pushing back. Then you can direct your awareness to the rib cage, the solar plexus area. From there, we want to lengthen forwards a bit. So those two bits of the spine are going in opposite directions. Now the upper part between your shoulder blades, imagine that there's a streaming movement outwards, like a river travelling along your spine, carrying it into the length. And then look ahead at your fingertips. They're right ahead of you. They're drawing you forwards even more. Keep breathing. Relax down again. Look in. Soften the knees just slightly and come right the way back up. Streaming up high into a good length, and take the hands down. Let's do another round of the sun prayer. Come towards the front of the mat again. Hands together. Let's think of the spine being a fluid line, a fluid flowing, stretchy piece of bendy piping in our centre. Come forward, so this bendy piping, it's streaming outwards into a length. Let's look in. Right foot back, form the half moon. Once again, think of that whole spinal column like one long bendy tube. It can stretch up. Then come into the firm straight line. Take the knees, chest and face down. Slide along the ground. Curl your spine backwards into the cobra. Then push into downward dog, lengthening right through the length of the spine. Take the right foot forward. Once again, lengthening through, streaming up. And the other foot forward and look in. Come right the way up. Keep breathing. Grow and lengthen right up through to the fingertips. And take the hands down. Hands together. Taking the arms up. Think of that lengthy, bendy tube right the way through the whole length of the spine. Take the hands down and look in. Left foot back. And form a good base with the half moon streaming upwards. Come into the plank. Take the knees, chest and face downwards. Slide along the ground. Open into the cobra. Push into downward dog. Left foot forward. Good base. Take the arms right up. Right foot forward. Come up into the standing half moon. Breathing, growing, streaming upwards. And take the hands down by your sides. So let's come into the half moon position. So if you need extra padding under your back knee, just fold your mat forward a bit. So take the right foot forward. Just have a good lift. So our focus is to develop the different sections of the spine so that we can grow optimally in all the different regions. So let's start with the leg position, which is connected with the lowermost part of the spine. As you grow into your legs, not just sinking passively, but growing quite actively forwards, at the same time, from the lowermost section, we have the sacrum, which fits into the pelvis. We can lift up a bit. We can think of tightening and almost drawing up a bit from that lowermost region. Let's stay with that idea. Just breathing, but focusing on growing into your legs and lifting up from the base of your spine. Okay, let's come back again, change over to the other side. Just good uprightness to start with. Free breath. Draw your leg forward. Feel how your pelvis starts to tighten as you do this, and at the same time you can lift up right from the base. So it's actually those muscles around the sacrum can literally tighten to give you more support in that region. Keep breathing. Come back again. Let's just come into child's pose. Come back up once again. Take the first foot forward. This time we're going to raise one arm, the same arm as your front leg, and we're going to focus on the solar plexus region as we do this, or really lifting the rib cage and that middle part of the spine level with the rib cage. So good uprightness to begin with, free chest and shoulders. Grow first of all into your front leg, and once again make sure you've got that tightness down in the sacrum as your support. Now take the front arm upwards and take your awareness to the solar plexus and rib cage area in the middle of your back. And now you can lift, so the hips can continue to push down a bit, the rib cage lifts up a bit, so there's a real activity happening in that central section. Keep breathing. Continue the flow right through the arm in a light way. Come back again. Change over to the other side. Lift up. Grow into the front leg. Keep the breath flowing. Find that tightness in the base, in the sacrum area. Take your front arm up. Take your awareness to the solar plexus region. And now start to lift that rib cage away from your hip. There's a stretch of that whole lower half of your trunk happening. And let the breath flow fully and freely. Let the dynamic continue through the arm. Come back again. Let's come into downward dog before we do one final round of the half moon. And you can be aware of your sacrum again, and this lower part of your spine is the top of the triangle, so it's drawing upwards. We'll hold the downward dog for a little bit longer. Keep the breath flowing. It's a very good exercise for lengthening the spine. And you can lengthen it more if you think of that tailbone drawing upwards. So from downward dog, as in the sun prayer, we're going to take the right foot directly forwards again into the half moon this time. Right the way forwards. Take the back knee down. Come into the half moon. Drop down with your base. Take a bit of time to establish that good firm leg position, tightening in the sacrum again. Take both arms up now and grow from the middle region, from the rib cage, lifting the rib cage right up. And now take your awareness to that top section between the shoulder blades. Continue the growing right up. The arms can draw you up further. Keep breathing. And then come back down again. Let's come back into downward dog as before. Same thing. Be aware of the base of your spine. Imagine that is the tip of the triangle, and imagine that's drawing your spine up into a greater length. Now with the left foot, directly forward between your hands and come down into the half moon base again. Grow into both legs, feel that tightening happening in the sacrum. Then take both arms up, lifting up from the rib cage. And now take the awareness to the upper spine between the shoulder blades and continue to stream upwards in that region, growing right through the arms and fingertips. Take the hands down again and come back into child's pose. And once again, come into downward dog. Toes on the mat, direct your sacrum upwards. Let the breath flow. In this downward dog position, there's a particular experience of being closed in that we can pay attention to. The head is literally closed in between the arms, and the face looks inwards towards our own body. We've got our back turned to the world. Let's come back down again onto your knees. And the next exercise that we're going to do is the cobra. So would you lie on your front? With all of the backward bending exercises, we have the opposite experience from the dog. We have the experience of opening ourselves out into the world. So as we do the cobra, let's be aware of that. It's something that in order to open the world, we have to tighten the spine as well. Let's come up first of all just with a sense of being open to the world, then we'll take our awareness back to the spine. Keep your legs well grounded, your pelvis well anchored, keep the breath flowing freely, and just take the body up quite high into that open position. Legs, pelvis stay well grounded, your chest is open, your head is looking outwards, your neck is high and free, shoulders should not be hunched up to the ears. And keep the breath flowing, keep that sense of openness in this position. Very good. Come back down again. So let's direct our awareness to the spine. Take your hands behind your back. You can clasp them together and then just start to push the hands away behind you as much as possible. Now direct your awareness to your spine. As you continue to draw your hands upwards, your upper spine can curl up so that your chest opens out to the front. So we still have that openness in the front, but at the same time, we have a tightening in the spine behind. Both of these things come together. The spine tightens, the front opens. Looking out ahead, so you have that sense of openness. Come back down again. Take your hands onto the mat under your shoulders. This time we're going to come up into the cobra, and you can remain aware of that same idea. As the spine tightens behind, the chest opens to the front. Stay with that picture. You can curl your head and your neck and your upper spine up. And now stay with this idea. The front of your body is opened to your surroundings. The spine behind you, as your central axis, is tightened. And come back down again. Push back into child's pose. and come up to a sitting position. So we'll finish off with one final exercise, the face of the cow. You can do this either kneeling, or you can do it with this more complicated position with one knee on top of the other and your feet out to the sides. This is a final exercise where we can now picture the spine as being a vertical line, a very stable, straight vertical line. It forms the central axis of the body, like our own tree trunk. And the hands can be like the wide-reaching branches of the tree. Take them right up above you. Come to this picture of the vertical line of the spine, which can extend for the moment right up to your fingertips. Stay with that picture. And then take your right arm in a big circle round behind you. Take the hand up between the shoulder blades. Grow upwards through the left arm. Keep that vertical line in your mind. Bend from the elbow. Clasp the fingers if you can, or else just your t-shirt. And come back to that picture. We have one straight vertical line of the spine. Stay with that picture, the vertical line of the spine. Take both arms right up above your head. The vertical line is lengthened again up to the fingertips. Take the other arm round in a big circle up between your shoulder blades. Stretch the vertical arm up and then bend it from the elbow. Clasp the fingers if you can, otherwise just your t-shirt, and come back to your mental picture that the spine forms one vertical line. And straighten up once again. Take the hands down. And just straighten out your legs into any comfortable sitting position. And let's just finish off then just with a final picture of our spine. Our theme today was that our spine should be strong and flexible in all its sections. Just finish off by becoming aware in this upright sitting position of your spine. The spine is a part of our physical anatomy, but it represents our inner strength and stability. We could say that the spine, being upright, represents our own inner uprightness, or our own inner sense of I, of self. And so it represents our own independence, our own autonomy, our own ability to master our own lives self-actively. And we'll finish the session there. You